It's great to be here. I come from Greece. This is my second TEDx speech and my first one in English. So, life is an amazing thing. And one of the things it makes it amazing, it is that we all live under the same moment, and we are sharing our experiences through our personal perspectives. And what we do with those perspectives is that we share them. From human being to human being, generations to generations, we have always told stories. And the means we have to tell our stories is through art. Movies, music, sculpting, poetry, all these means of art are the tools we have to share our experiences. And what we're going to tell with these tools depend on our own lifestyle. So to live life as an adventure, taking risks and experimenting it ourselves is a respect to ourselves, to universe, to growth itself, as we become rich from our experiences, and in the end, we bloom by sharing those experiences with other people. One of the things that life revealed to me and teased me to discover was Wing Chun Kung Fu, this martial art. So before I know it, I'm in Hong Kong learning it. And after a journey with lots of ups and downs, peaks and valleys, a whole understanding and ideas came to a certain point where they want to express themselves. So this is my personal understanding of what Kung Fu is and how it can help us in our very own lives. Like most people, when I heard the words Kung Fu, high kicks, punches, bloody noses, Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan was all that came in mind. But is it Kung Fu only about attack, defend, and learn how to kick someone's ass? To be honest, that's why I started it, to learn to defend myself. And I never questioned if there's something else in it, but the answers came alone. As time went by, I realized that Kung Fu has a vast meaning in it, and also a simple one. In its simplicity, can embrace all kinds of complexity that may seem unconnected. Everything around us is a result of Kung Fu, a result of the will to keep growing on, learning, and expanding our consciousness. It is a choice we have in order to continue evolving. So in that sense, Kung Fu is the fuel that actually fuels evolution. But in order for a fuel to be useful, we need a vehicle. And the vehicle we have in order to make this fuel get us somewhere is the skill we want to obtain, what we love to do, what we love to learn, and how we can progress through that. And through that skill, that small skill and the microcosmos of that skill, we can translate it into our lives. For example, when Bruce Lee talked about how we must all become water, that statement probably arose through practicing Wing Chun, but it never kept itself into the boundaries of martial arts. Kung Fu is all about becoming better human beings in martial arts, in what we love to do, in life itself. Now, you may already have noticed that life kind of goes into a circular way. I mean, history is repeating itself. Sometimes our lives seem to go into a routine. And we usually have to deal with all kinds of problems and obstacles. What if the two forces, the force of Kung Fu, this will to keep going on and evolving, and the force of the goal, the skill we want to obtain, combined into these circles? Well, if we combine them into the circles, also with the experience we are getting through overcoming our problems and our obstacles, what we're getting is our personal evolution through the way of a spiral. Now, this spiral, as we progress through the spiral, we start loud and noisy, making all kinds of random moves, like we don't know how to exactly achieve what we want to achieve. But as experience comes into place, and we overcome the problems and the obstacles, we are moving ourselves into sharpening this spiral. For example, imagine a very old and wise man who gives very short and precise advice, or a Kung Fu teacher who pays attention to minor mistakes, or a professional whose tips are correct and targeted, full of experience, free from unnecessary words, refined through the process of dedication. And we will find out that the more we focus on a skill, on what we want to learn, what we love to do, the more we introduce ourselves into the amazing world of detail. And we can also understand that we always have a choice. We are all here today at this date, this time here because we made the choice. This is what we control in life. We can only control this very moment. And we're all here today because we want to evolve, share stories, share information so we can continue growing in life. Now I'm going to tell you something that will probably surprise you. Your phones do Kung Fu. They're not going to punch you in the face or something. I don't know if there's an application for that. But what I'm trying to say is that technology always imitates nature. Actually, nature is the only thing we have out there to imitate in the first place. So the way we learn and continue growing and evolve, our Kung Fu has been translated into computer language. Really? Is it really there? Yes. Every time you talk to your Siri and Siri understands what you're saying, every time you are drawing a Chinese character and your computer finds out what character you just drew, a neural network is being activated. Now, a neural network is a computer program that imitates the human brain. And the human brain works by networking itself. The output of a neuron is the input of another one. What they are doing is sharing information, telling stories. Now, a neural network is aware of the parameters that it has control over them, knows what the final goal is, and knows what mistake is. What is missing is experience. For example, in this video, this car is trying to learn how to drive itself to finish the circuit. It knows that it wants to finish the circuit. It knows that it can turn left and right. It knows what mistakes means, but it doesn't know how exactly left and right it needs to go to finish the track. But through the pain, through the mistakes, through all these obstacles, he's getting the data, all the information needed to achieve this goal. So in that sense, it's progressing through the spiral. It starts randomly, loud and noisy, and as experience comes into the game, it becomes much more precise in what it's doing. So in the end, it is able to finish the track. And from all this bunch of parameters out there, from this randomness, the gravitational pull of the goal combined with the Kung Fu to keep going on and seeing obstacles as opportunities for growth created the pathway to evolution. Now, that might seem a little bit geeky. I mean, how all this can translate into our own lives? Well, on the left here, we have a picture of a brain cell, and on the right, we have a picture of the universe. What it is easily observable is that they are sharing the same structure, even though they are two totally different things. Sharing the same structure means they're sharing the same rules. Sharing the same rules means there's something in there. So the car wants to finish the track, knows it can turn left and right, does not know how much exactly left and right needs to go. A baby is born and wants to walk. It knows it's going to use the arms and the legs, but does not know how exactly to use them. So it starts doing this random baby moves that baby do. And a Kung Fu student enters a school, wants to defend himself. Probably he knows he's going to do it with the arms, but does not know how exactly to do it. So what happens is that they will all fail. Totally. The car will crash, the baby will fall down, the student will cannot defend the punch. So they're all introduced into the pain factor, into the obstacle thing, and through this negativity, growth happens. They will try again, the car will try again, the baby will try again, the student will try again. And as repetition goes on, in the end, they will be able to finish their goal. So we just witnessed three totally unconnected paradigms sharing the same thing, which is cool, but this is all about Kung Fu. Where are those kicks and punches, right? Well, any skill we do allows us to understand life better, but in the martial arts thing, maybe it is a little bit more direct. You know, because of its directness, Wing Chun, a physical punch is much more obvious for a human to interact with it, because it involves the human instincts. We all have them. So the process of learning might go faster. And the concept is, if you learn to defend a physical punch, you'll be able to defend all kinds of punches. A bad phone call, a bad day, something bad in your personal life or in your career. Those punches share the same destructive, let's say, force of the physical punch. And we can always translate microcosmos into macrocosmos. And also, Wing Chun and martial arts are a perfect example of how they can strip away the illusion of humans carrying tags. There is no poor, there is no rich, there is no smart or stupid. When practicing, there are only certain amounts of awareness and natural rules that apply to each and every one of us. Because we all share the same emotions, there's this universal language going on of pain, emotion, and all this understanding, which we're all equal into that. So, as any skill, of course, Wing Chun and Kung Fu is a great skill to obtain and a great journey to have. And speaking of journeys, having a goal is awesome. But once you get the goal, it kind of dissolves into thin air. You kind of forget about it. So it isn't a matter of speaking a useful illusion. What is really there in the end is the journey. So as we progress in life, we become stronger as we become older. Now, the Greek word for old is geros, and the Greek word for strong is geros. They're exactly the same words there. And through this journey, we can also see some natural ethics, what I like to call, like they can emerge. Respect the elders, not because family or school taught so, but because of a respect of growth and evolution. Respect people progressing, not because you have to, but because you want to see progress, and jealousy just vanishes into thin air. Also respect the youngers, because they have the newest information passed from the old generations. They hold the key to the new evolutionary state. And also we understand the power of choice, because we always have a choice right now to do something. We have no other input in life. We can only control this very moment. So if we do so, we are helping ourselves. But if we don't do so and try not to help ourselves by not having the mentality of going and fixing things with our creativity, we might even want to put other people down. And what in that case happens is that we're becoming an obstacle in their path. And we saw that obstacles are opportunities for growth. So even in that case, we cannot stop evolution. And sometimes the journey educates us. We are being educated by the journey of the skill we want to obtain. Sometimes the hard way. Sometimes the hard way is the best way. Because it's all about solving problems in the end. The more you can solve the problem, the harder the problem, the better you can be. So the Greek word for giving somebody a hard time is pedevo. And the Greek word for education is ekpedevsi. They are sharing the same root word there. And also the journey, all kinds of journeys, are internal processes. We need to forget all kinds of teachers in this world. We can always hear, get experiences. Of course, it's part of the game. But in the end, we are our experience. We are our awareness. We need to drive ourselves into whatever we want to drive ourselves. And in the very end, it's all about beating the biggest opponent which is out there, which is ourself. Now, the Greek word for becoming an emperor is autokratoras. Auto means self, kratoras, holding. He who holds himself is an emperor, because we are setting ourselves the obstacles that keeps us from growing. If we have zero obstacles, we will be in a perfect evolutionary state. Now, if you go outside right now, wherever you go, you will see people running through the streets. You will see cars, MTR, all these buildings, all this life. Everybody has the dreams, the goals. Everyone is trying to be a little bit better as they were before. And this ever-existent force is there, this will to do so, this kung fu, this hard work to continue evolving. And it's a safe thing to have in mind, because money can fly away, material possessions can be taken from us, but what nobody can ever take from us is the choice of right now and the creative force inside of us to create virtually everything. And Kavafi, the Greek poet, said it perfectly. As you set out for Ithaki, hope the voyage is a long one, full of adventure and full of discovery. Laestrygonians and Cyclops, angry Poseidon. Don't be afraid of them. You will never find things like this on your way as long as you keep your thoughts raised high, as long as a rare excitement steers your spirit and your body. Laestrygonians and Cyclops, while Poseidon, you won't encounter them unless you bring them along your soul, unless your soul sets them up in front of you. Undeniably, universe likes growth, and the gift we have to continue growing is our kung fu, our hard work, our will to continue going on. So the final punchline can be, life is kung fu. Thank you very much.